Hello there everybody, Oimon here, and welcome to Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Probably gonna get some sort of reward for the stupidest remake title ever, but, you know, it is what it is. Hey Nova, welcome. Yes, hello. So, funny story, I got this back when it first came out in, like, I think it was September, when the Re-Reckoning version of this game got sort of announced and released. And I meant to play it then. I actually meant to play it around the time it came out. I just didn't have the chance with everything else that was going on. I had so many other games on my list that I really wanted to play that it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And then other games come out and I really wanted to play those, so I pushed it back further and further. But I have finally gotten to it. I am finally here to play it. Now, full disclosure, I've played this before, or more accurately, I played the original version of this before. From what I understand, there are no major differences between this version and the original version. I think the biggest change is to, like, I think they changed the lighting or the graphics in some way. I don't think they even upped the textures on this thing. It is basically just a version that runs better on modern systems, whereas the other one, which is a few years old now, is a little janky on modern systems, so they just decided to give it a re-release just to, you know, make a quick bit of cash. Although I have heard they are releasing, like, new DLC for this game, because the original version of this game had 2 DLCs. There was The Legend of Dead Kell and The Teeth of Narrows, I think. I think that's what they were called. Yeah, for the most part, this is exactly the same game. But I don't mind playing it again, because it's been a number of years since I played it, and I remember having really good fun. The one thing I did want to say, and it's something I sort of briefly mentioned with my post about it on Twitter, I love this game. I think it's got some really good ideas, but it doesn't have an original fucking bone in its body, save one. And I'll explain more as the game goes on about that one original bone, because the bone is actually the game's backbone. It is kind of the core of the narrative, and it's actually really fascinating and really interesting. And honestly, if it hadn't been for that hook, I probably would never have completed it, because combat, yeah, you've seen it before. You know, it's sort of hacky, slashy kind of thing. Gameplay, yeah, you've seen this a bajillion times. It's open areas with, you know, little interconnected corridors between them that sort of allow for loading and stuff. You know, quests, again, dozens of fetch quests scattered around the place for no real reason other than just that's what you do in an RPG. You've got plot lines and storylines going around all over the place. You know, let's see what else. Oh yeah, you've got like a special power, which is just a slow-mo mode. Again, you know, seen it before. But, you know, and even like the creatures, you've seen them before. They've got different names, but they're just dwarves and elves and dark elves, and it's like, but so yeah, nothing here is new. Okay, as I say, with the exception of that one idea, which I thought was really cool. But as I said, I can't explain that without spoilers, and I'll explain it as we get further into the story and the story is revealed. But oh blimey, Nova, you've been typing a whole lot while I've been giving my spiel. Today's title is dumb as hell, but I rather like the original. And a remaster, I actually recently finished a 100% playthrough. Didn't bother grinding for every piece of random unique loot, but I did finish every single quest in the game, minus the endless repeatable ones. Yeah, I think I did that first time I ever played this. They rebalanced things and fixed a few bugs, but like 90% of the game is still the same. For example, in the original, each zone would scale everything to your level when you first enter the zone, and it remains stuck at that level forever. In the remaster, they rescale it to your current level when you leave and return, which is quite nice. Really? Oh, that's fair enough. I don't know. I mean, in a way, I kind of like it that an area is fixed once you enter it. Because then it's like, well, okay, you know, that area, it's going to be at your level. But then if you leave and then come back, you get that sense of advancement. I'm not sure, because it is one of those old questions in RPGs about whether enemy leveling is worth it, you know? Because if the enemies level with you, well, what's the point in leveling? You know, because the enemies are just going to stay the same difficulty no matter what level you're at, so why bother leveling? I mean, I know that in a game like this you get extra perks and it gives you more options and stuff like that. Anyway, we could debate this endlessly, but yeah, as I said, I really do enjoy this game. As it's a bit grindy, and there are like high points and low points, and hopefully we'll be able to slog through that. It's a long game too, so I'll be playing this one for a while. Certainly, like past New Year, I'll be playing this in like March probably. Anyway, let's get in. I'm only going to play casual because the issue with the original game is I never told you this, because of the way quests are dotted around, it's really easy to hit most zones really early and end up with the entire world scaled to a low level, making an already easy game even more mindless. I never had that problem because I very carefully and very meticulously explored every single area one at a time, got through all the quests in that area before moving on. So maybe the way I played the game just didn't have that problem. But yeah, I'm tossing up in my mind whether or not I want to play casual or normal, because normally I'd play casual in a game like this because the combat isn't fantastic. Like, it's fine, it's competent, it works really well for what it's trying to do, but it's not like it's got anything amazingly special in it. It's just a sort of a nice thing that's in it. And I'm thinking, like, well, I could play it on normal, because I normally play it on casual, so that would at least be a bit of a challenge for me. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to... you know what, I'll play it on normal. Oh, excuse me. I can play it on normal. I do normally play casual, but I think we'll go in on normal. And hopefully it won't be too much of a step up. I doubt it. Alright, we're in.
From the beginning, we were wrong. And only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen, terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Each Tuatha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of Men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
Bit of an info dump, but it actually tells you pretty much everything you need to know. There's a bad guy, and the enemies you kill don't actually die long term. So, you know, that's it. That's pretty much all you need to take away from this. And your character died at the start. It starts with your death, because that's always a great way to start a game, you know, with your character dying. I don't think that's supposed to be your character. I think it's just a random character. It's just, it is what it is. Dun, dun, dun. I might turn down the music when I get the chance. It's a little loud for me.
What do you think this one is then? Alpha? The run? Could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Gran?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other.
And now we get on to character customization. So, you only get the 4 races. Basically, 2 human types and 2 elfy types. Because you can tell they're elves because they have pointy ears and odd-colored skin. And you get different ones based on, you know, who you go with gives you different bonuses. Like, you know, for instance, the Almain gets blacksmithing, persuasion, and alchemy, which is good if you're going in that direction. You got mercantile, lockpicking, and detect hidden. That's the one I'm probably going to go for because I like those abilities. Lockpicking is very useful in this game. But annoying. I will say lockpicking is very annoying because it's that thing where if memory serves about lockpicking is annoying because succeed or fail, you use up your lockpicks. So you're constantly having to run around the map scavenging as many fucking lockpicks as you can because you're always losing them. Even if you succeed in opening up a chest, you still lose the lockpick. Like, whoever the hell made that idea, I hope they died painfully. Anyway, you also get this one with like Sagecraft, Alchemy, Dispelling. So basically, it's just like, you know, this one's good with basic, you know, basic creation stuff. This one's good at like speech and stuff. This one's better at like magic and crafting. And, you know, this one's better at like stealth. I'm going to go Varani because I like the lockpicking thing. Once you put enough points in lockpicking, you can just hit a single button to automatically open the chest at the cost of 1 lockpick without bothering with the minigame. Yeah, that is true. And honestly, that is something I occasionally miss from the likes of, like, say, Skyrim or Fallout 4. Even Fallout 3 to an extent, although you do sort of get the automatic open button. I kind of wish, like, the minigame is good, but it gets a bit tedious after you've done it for about 1,000 times. You kind of sometimes wish there was just a skip button. But that's just me. But yeah, it was still annoying, though, that even though you get the skip option later on, you still have to use up lockpicks even when you successfully open up a chest. And it's just irritating. Anyway, so yeah, here you get like an alignment for, I guess, a god sort of thing. It gives you the boost. You can have like fire, damage, and resistance, which is, you know, fine. Lockpicks is every unit can full stack. Well, yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's kind of a busy work thing. It's like, you know, you should really only have to need like 30 lockpicks after a while, and that'll see you through for ages. But, you know, if you encounter 30 chests, then that's it. You know, you've used them all up, and that's assuming you're successful every time. And if you're ever running low, the game starts increasing the odds you'll find them as loot, so you never run out. Well, yeah, I mean, it does get better, and it is, I guess it's balanced enough. It's just one of those things that really annoyed me. I remember just being very annoyed by that. I think it was one of those things that annoyed me at the start, like when I didn't realize that was a thing, and then I worked it out, and I was like, oh, that's really annoying, and I guess it just probably just stuck in my head. I remember that being. Anyway, so yeah, you can pick some sort of a bonuses or a buffs or anything like that. You know, 1% experience bonus. That's, like, okay, I guess. But honestly, unless... Do you know if they've removed the level cap? Because I remember the level cap being kind of aggressively small. I think it was only, like, level 40. And it's really, really easy to get to. The level cap's still the same. That's a shame. Yeah, the level cap is aggressively small, and it's like... it's one of those things where it's very easy to hit your level cap. You don't need bonuses and stuff, so I'm probably going to go for just, like, physical damage and armor. So that's fine. Look, presets, because we can. If you avoid any EXP bonus effects, you won't hit the cap until you've nearly 100% of the base game. True! But it's still very easy to get to. Like, you know, you kind of feel like, you know, because of how easy it is to get bonus experience effects, it is the thing of it's very easy to max your level, even if you're not really trying. And it really feels like you can only do about half of your skill stuff, and some of those skills are bloody useful. In fact, I remembered last time I started playing this game, which was a couple of years back, I actually went and looked up a cheat table for it just to give myself all the points. Because that's fun. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Okay, Honestly, my biggest issue with this game is the way skill trainers and skill books work, because it's easy to mess up, permanently lock yourself out of skill bonuses, being unable to max every skill anymore. I don't think you even can max every skill, can you? I don't think so. I remember that there was like a limit, like you can only do the first 3, like on the first 10 levels, then you lock another 3 on the next 10 levels, and then it's like, then you unlock all the way up to 10 afterwards. I mean, there might have been a way to like min-max it, but I never really looked that up. As I said, I eventually just looked up a cheat table for it, because that's bloody easier. You know, cheat engine and whatnot. That base. You can customize it after the fact. You pick a preset and then you customize the preset for the record. So yeah, you can. You don't get a lot, actually. I will say you don't get like a lot of different types, which I'm actually okay with, because what eye colors have we got? Because otherwise you can spend like literally just hours here, and it takes way too sodding long. Ooh, yellow eyes. That's always fun. What have we got in terms of hairstyles? I like that. Always go for the ponytail look. What hair colors have we got? Sometimes I wish it had an RGB value. I always like games that have RGB values. But that's just a personal preference. Their NPCs request a bunch of gold, give a permanent +1 to a particular skill, but only if your current points in that skill fall within a specific range. There's also a set of books that can provide permanent +1s, but if you use them in the wrong order, it's very easy to be left permanently unable to use a specific trainer, locking around and maxing every skill at once. Really? I've never really looked into that, so probably not needed. Yeah, sure, let's have unmatching hair and eyebrows. Specifically referring to passive skills here, like lockpicking, not your special attacks and stuff. No, yeah, because there's like two different things. There's like your passive skills, which is like, you know, your lockpicking, your blacksmithing, your stuff like that. And then you get the skills in your big tables that are like combat skills. Yeah. Those are way too much to max out. Usually what I go for is I go for mostly melee, with archery as a backup, and I don't usually touch spells except the healing spell. I will usually give myself just the healing spell for like emergencies, just to have a magic thing, you know? At least that's what I usually do. Okay, yeah, I guess that'll do.
One of the Varani women. Must have followed a mercenary band over. Maybe one of them herself. Doesn't much matter now. Fared pretty well, though. Alright then. Make sure it goes into the report. You know he'll want all the details.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name her, I think we're done. Put her with the others.
Last playthrough went into finesse, plus a handful of points into might for stuff like adrenaline rush. The grapple move, sorcery is crazy overpowered. Yeah, I do remember sorcery being massively overpowered, but I also remember not using it all that much, so I'm mostly just stuck to just whacking things with melee. And as I said, just using the healing spell, that was about the only spell I got. And occasionally I threw out an electric ball, because you just get that one on default. Just because it's there, I guess. Anyway, let's...
Well, that's it for you then. Better luck next time.
Oh, that's the last time I go drinking on a Friday night. So, first I died, and now I'm back alive again. I wonder what could be causing this. Come on now. I do appreciate the fact you can mix match a little bit, still unlock the final tier densities of a single type, since there are always a few extra points. Yeah, that's true. Okay. And we're in. Alright. Out of the darkness. Okay, now hang on, let me just tweak down the music slightly. Didn't think it would be quite so loud. Take it down to... We'll see how we get on. A quarter of the way down. That should be okay. Alright. I really love the classics from the game. There should be more options for less even mixes between types. Yeah, the class system they pull in this one is actually pretty good. It's like, it's very well balanced and does allow for a lot of like variety and everything. So yeah, it is one of the highlights of the game, definitely. It's been a while since I played this. I'm gonna have to remember everything. Loot. I remember looting. Funnily enough. Secret sealing is important in our work, requiring specialized disposal of our unfortunate failures. Piling remains have become a concern in lower caverns, so an incinerator has been added to deal with the wastes. This should make disposal work slightly less horrible, although you should avoid drinking water from downstream the ash dumps. Hardly a fitting rest for the poor things, but if it's any consolation, these weren't their original bodies in the first place. Like, the destinies are for 50-50 splits, but not for like 75-25. Yeah, I think, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if this game's going to get a sequel, because I think there's clearly enough demand for it on some level, but I don't know if this game will get a sequel, but it is something they could easily do in a sequel if they wanted to. Alright, so, finally, we have a sword. It's not a great sword, but it'll do.
Run!
Oh dear.
Scatter, children of dust! Scatter before the might of the Tuatha!
I forgot about the accents in this game. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing you gotta remember. Always break, like, the boxes and the barrels, because you just occasionally get just random gold drops from them. Hello. Ow. Nice.
Stay away!
Still running around killing things. Sadly, that was what killed the original developer. Financial mismanagement combined with getting overly ambitious, wanted to follow this up with a freaking MMO. Remember the MMO boom when everything was trying to beat WoW? Yes, I know that, because there was like a Kingdoms of Amalur MMO which existed for all of like a month, I think. It was really quite weird. That, I mean, it's a good game, but I think it was a little early in its life to be jumping straight on the MMO bandwagon. They probably should have just jumped straight to Kingdoms of Amalur 2, which probably would have been a better investment of their time. I'm yelling for help.
You! Up there! Please help me! Please!
I can pull that off.
Scum! No matter. We'll all die. Thank you. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, Wait. I've seen you before. On the slab. You were dead. It worked. By the tome, it worked. You're alive.
I'm not dead?
No, clearly not anymore. But you were. The Well of Souls remade your body. We thought you were another failure. But the well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you.
I'm sure. Oh, it never even came out. Oh, you know what? I didn't really keep track of it. I remember liking this game, but I had no interest in MMOs. So I didn't really keep track of how far it got. I remember seeing pictures of it. But I didn't realize it never actually got released. So, well, there you go then. But yeah, they should have just made a Kingdoms of Amalur too. Because I think the world and its like structure was... Like, there was enough here that you could build a sequel off of it. Anyway, but yeah. Who are these attackers?
Oh my, you don't know? Oh, perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deon, the enemies of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland. Not even during the invasion. I don't know why they are here. Hughes may have the answer to that as well. You must stay alive and reach him.
Okay. So yeah, just as per normal, you've got sort of plot convenient amnesia, or I suppose plot inconvenient amnesia, because it would probably be a lot better if you actually could remember all the stuff. Hughes.
Professor Formerus Hughes. The Well of Souls is his life's work. The Tuatha are coming into the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes. Now, let's get going!
Okay. You have despite this game's major flaws, I always have a soft spot for it because it helped you work out you were transgender. Really? Huh. It had to come out right when I was starting to question myself. Decided to make a female character in the game as an experiment to see how it felt. Ended up being a large part of what confirmed it for me. Ah, well there you go then. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's not like a fantastic game. Like a game like this, it would never be like a 10 out of 10. But what this is, it's a solid 7. You know? It's that thing of, it doesn't do anything new, but everything it does right, and it does well, and it does competently. And sometimes that's all you need to do, especially if this was like, because I'm pretty sure this is the first game these devs made, question mark? It's only the first one I remember hearing about anyway, but, okay, attacks.
Oh my, you don't know? Perhaps the process damaged your memory.
Yeah, I think
We've
we did
never
this.
seen them this far inland. I wish I could tell you more. You showed no signs of life when we removed your new body from the well's waters. We just put it in the furnace room with the others. We would have never done that if we knew. The Well of Souls is just ahead. You'll see. And it works. It restored you to life. There will be plenty of time to explain later. We've got to get going. He'll be in his study on the ground floor of the tower. At least, I hope he's there. And safe.
All
Let
right.
me get this door. Right this way. You go first.
Alright, let's grab all this stuff. Loot everything, because, well, it's an RPG. What do you think we're going to do? Looting, looting, looting. Okay, let's get some armor on. I'll do it. I think that's everything. They tone down the... Wait a second. Camera. I'm going to turn camera smoothing off, I think. That's the thing I think it is. Hang on. Yeah, it's a bit better. I've got more control over it now. Bloody
This is
smoothing.
what they're after. Our greatest invention, the Well of Souls. Imagine an end to war, an end to death.
It's big. I didn't do that much, did it? Lots of yelling coming out of it. I came out of that yelling. Yeah, one good thing to note is there a third-party hacking tool that really helps people in this game's major bugs. There are a bunch of quest items that will be permanently stuck in your inventory after you finish the quest. They're attached to them permanently reducing your carry capacity as a result. There's a save editor you can get from Mod Nexus. Either hack new items into your stash if you have a house, or more importantly, let you remove quest items from your inventory if this case happens. Ah, well, I'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully one. I do remember this game having bugs, because, you know, obviously the dev team kind of, you know, collapsed before they could really fix most of them. Even though it kind of also had DLC as well. Whatever, it's something like that. But yeah, as I said, it ain't a perfect game.
We're in one of the storerooms. See if you can find anything useful.
The entire series of quests become impossible to finish if you do them in the wrong order? I don't remember running into that in the original version. But then maybe I just got lucky and, you know, did them in the right order. Who knows? Alright.
Wait! Do you hear something? More Tuatha! You're going to need more than just that sword. That one had a bow. Get it?
Alright. Why isn't it? Yeah, I remember that one. I remember.
Archers up ahead. Best shoot them before they see us.
Gotcha. In the game, a trio of related quests in the Red Marshes area. Twice to do them in strict order and only accept them one at a time to avoid any permanently bugging out.
Go!
Finale that ties it together. Right. I don't remember that happening. I'm pretty sure I completed all the quest lines back in the day, but as I said, it was a long, long time ago now, so I don't really remember. Works for me. It's weird that just smashing boxes gives you money. Right. When you reach the last region around the bastion, you need to be careful not to destroy any of the crystals around the towers before starting the quest. I told you to do that because breaking them too early could potentially render the main story impossible to finish. Again, I don't remember doing that, but...
If you catch an enemy unaware, their speed more than makes up for their size.
Sure. What was the sneak button? Not that. I'm sure the game will prompt me to do it when it happens.
More up ahead. If you can sneak up on them with your daggers, you should be able to finish them quickly and quietly.
Yes. Oh, I tried that earlier. It didn't work. Sneaky, sneaky. Hello. And here we go again. Now one of these guys is behind the other one. I forget which is which. Yeah, you're back.
Look at the Lord.
Right. Unfortunately, his friend missed. Oh well. Never mind. We did once have an NPC fail to trigger his own death cutscene once, making me unable to advance the quest line until I loaded an old save. Whoops. That's not good. Thankfully, the remaster we've patched several times already fixed some of the bugs, even though there's still a long way to go there.
Cave blossoms only respond in the presence of magic. Perhaps there is more to you than it seems. Incredible! What are you?
I am me. Would you believe? Hello, spitters. I forgot about all you things. Oh well. Hughes, per your request, we finally got the spider problem under control. Claude will try to take credit for an efficient cleansing with the Praetorians, but I feel he overstates his case and fails to recognize the value that my own quick thinking and scholarly work provided with the successful operation. While overseeing the spider purge, I noticed that those guards who were affected by spider vermin exhibited stiffness of joints and tightening of skin, symptoms which suggest a possible solution for the internal cohesion problem of some of the world's creations. I would have studied these symptoms in more depth at the time, but the guards willfully and flagrantly disobeyed my orders to delay application of antitoxins. As such, I request that we capture some of these spiders in order to harvest their venom for future testing. Furthermore, I trust that these insubordinate guards will be punished immediately for my steadfast pursuit of knowledge. I require no medal, nor promotion. All I would ask is that you please reassign me off the subject disposal detail. I do know that they're like planning a new sort of batch of DLC for this game, which is a bit weird considering, you know, it doesn't really need more DLC. A simple remaster in and of itself would have been fine, but whatever, I guess. Though I don't know what the ETA on that DLC is. It just is what it is, I guess. Hello, spider. Would you like a blast of magic? And dead. Yep, I don't want
It
stuff,
completely
thanks.
covered the tunnel.
But unfortunately, you have to use it for this bit because this tutorial literally teaches you every
Maybe
element
you
of
can
the
use that
game.
staff to burn a path through.
Yeah. Now, robes I don't really like because ultimately they're not very good.
More spiders! Burn them! Burn them!
Ow. Sorted. I will say that is one of the things I do remember being very annoying. That's the fact that if you want to switch weapons, you have to go into your inventory, sort through it, find the one you want to equip, and then use it. And then you have to back out. And it's a little tedious. Like they really need it because they've got the they've got the item radial. They really needed a weapon one too, or just like have items equipable on the radial. That would have been fine. I'd have been okay with that. You know, because if you've got a radial for items, then give us a, you know, either give us a radial for weapons or a quick swap button or something like that. Again, something they could, you know, do in a sequel or whatever, but it's a bit of an oversight, I think. Especially since you need to carry a spider web that show up rarely, but often enough you just need to prepare for them. Yeah, it's really a case of, like, more often than not, it's like if a quest, which occasionally does require stealth, then it's nice to be able to quick switch to your daggers and then quick switch back to your main weapon as necessary. It's just like a quick switch button would be better.
Wait, you're not one of them.
Scholars are soft.
Get away! That's what I intend to find out. Came out well.
What? It's better get inside to see the old man. Quick, before those twatha make another push.
This is where we part ways. But take whatever you want from this armory. We might have a few things that would fit you. Just make sure you get your shoes. We can hold off the Tuatha here.
5%, maybe?
There's nothing more I can do except to stay here and
I don't think
slow
I've
down
ever
the
passed that one.
But this is the armory after all. Check the chests. We might have a few things that would fit you. With luck, I'll see you on the outside.
Like, it's literally a 5% roll, so...
I'll see you on the outside, if fate wills it. Ah, plate armor. Nothing protects quite like layers of impervious metal.
I wouldn't say it's impervious, but...
Leather armor is thin, but will give you the speed to reach an enemy's boat. Simple cloth frees your body and mind. That's why mages prefer it.
Okay, what have we got? Robes I don't really want. Nah, nothing too much there. Okay. All right. Whole screen just flashed down. What the hell that was? Graphical glitch, probably. Yeah, it's got sort of an over-the-shoulder camera for some reason. It is what it is. I came out of this, apparently. I'd say hi to Hughes.
You've made it, and look at you. Even with all you've been through. The Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this. I am Fomerus Hughes, and this is my laboratory at Alistar. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing, the Well of Souls, the pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time, there's so much we might learn from one another.
Attackers.
You don't know. They're called the Tuatha. They were once Fey folk of the Winter Court, but they've been twisted by their Lord Gadflow. But how could they have found us out here? We're miles away from the front lines. The war has never touched Dalentarth. And why attack the well?
I'm trying to remember how they found out about it. I think one of the characters is a traitor, and I don't remember which one.
The Fey are complicated. I could write 10 volumes on the effects of immortality on their pseudo-feudal court system alone. I am Fomerus Hughes, Scholar of Vivification Prime Circle. We're standing above my life's work, the Well of Souls. And there's so much to learn about you, though. I imagine it's all a bit muddled. A side effect of the prismere? Shape of the basin? No. If only we had more time.
There's never enough time.
I wish I could tell you more, but your death is a mystery to me as well. It seems that your memory died with your body. You see, the well is designed to capture the soul of someone recently deceased, recreating their physical form within its waters. Simple, really. Your rebirth is the first we might truly call a success. There have been others, but the results weren't quite right.
Lovely.
The Tuatha are a radical splinter of the Fae. Insane, bloodthirsty, and immortal. Even when they die, their essence returns home to be reborn later. They hate mortals like you and me, and want us wiped off the face of Amalur. I can only imagine how much they hate the idea of mortals being reborn. It's been my life's work. Decades of research with a singular goal, ending death itself. And now, you're the only proof that it's a success. But why did it work on you and no one else? What makes you different from the others? There are so many questions to ask, and if we're to get any answers, we've got to get you someplace safe.
One thing I really wish they changed in the remastered aspect was the Legend of Dead Kell DLC, specifically the fact that you can't fast travel to and from the island and need to take the ship. Being unable to leave the island makes sense during the main plot of that quest line, since your ship was destroyed. Continue to block fast travel even after that. Finishing that quest is a real problem, since fortress you can rebuild on the island is the nicest house in the game. But since you can't easily travel to and from it while doing other stuff, it's completely useless once you're done everything on the island. Yeah, I think I remember that. I remember that the DLC maps do show up on the main map. I don't remember if you can fast travel. I don't remember if I went back there after beating that DLC. Because it's weird. Because honestly, of the two DLCs it's got, there was The Legend of Dead Kell and then there was Teeth of Narrows. I remember The Legend of Dead Kell being the much more interesting DLC. But you can't really play it until you get like well into the game. Because the only way to get to that DLC is to get to like the big central city of the entire world. That's like it's practically on the opposite end of the map from where you start. Whereas the Teeth of Narrows entrance is actually very close to where you start the game. But I honestly found the Teeth of Narrows DLC is actually the more, I suppose, boring of the two. Like, Teeth of Narrows feels kind of generic, but I remember Legend of Dead Kell, I remember really liking it. Teeth of Narrows felt very rushed compared to Dead Kell. Yeah, like, it's not, like, bad. It's not, like, an awful DLC. It's just, you know, when you compare the two side to side, Dead Kell is the better DLC. Like, absolutely. So, yeah, it's just my opinion on it, but...
Too much to explain right now. The Tuatha have come to stop my work, but I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only proof of what we've achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe.
Alright.
We're in the Feylands, miles away from the front lines. I thought we were safe enough from the war, but it seems some of the Tuatha found their way here anyway. Yes, you're right. I've got my notes, but it's most important that you stay safe. It's just that you're... Wait, where are you going?
Fascinating. Simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow...
Yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what... Perhaps I should go see.
Sir! Mr. Hughes! The Tuatha have reached the lab! They're inside the lab!
No! We've got to get you out of here now! Quickly! Follow the path to the town of Gorhart. Find Agath. He's a friend, and he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
I also like that this, it's like a fantasy RPG. It is not scared to kill people in some pretty bloody and horrific ways. I like that. It's got a sort of vaguely Lord of the Rings-ish vibe to them. It has no problem just randomly killing people. I love it. Alright, time to get the fudge out of here. Oh, that's how you do. I remember that. Hello. And I think he just patrols around that side of the room. I think. Come on. Gotcha. Totally would have seen me if it wasn't for the fact it's gaming. But, hey, who the hell cares? Good fun. Right. Let's go back to you. I need you for the upcoming boss. Which I do remember. Relatively so.
Get moving, you brute! Tear this tower apart!
Hi! No, that's the wrong button. Nice. I'll nab all that, thank you very much. And get the hell out of here. Not bad for an opening to the game. It sort of throws you into the deep end, of course, but often is the way in this sort of thing. I'm going back now. Probably for the best. Hey, there it goes. Hello? Anybody gonna say anything?
Another survivor? But I've never seen you in the tower. Were you one of the professor's assistants in the downstairs projects? Did he escape with you?
You distracted them so I could escape.
That sounds like him. Professor Hughes was very thoughtful. I mean, he is very thoughtful. I'm sure he found a way to get out. He must have. You should be safe.
Anything about that. Anyway, time to level up. So yeah, here's your basic stats. Oh, it was 4, 3, and 3. I had it in my mind it was 3, 3, and 4, so I was getting that wrong. But, yeah, how it basically works is you have to be a level... I was level 8 and then level 16. That was it. And I think the max level you can get up to is 14, I want to say. Like I said, they really just need to uncap it, because there's no point in having a cap on this kind of stuff. I mean, I guess it would maybe make things a little too unbalanced, but, you know, the game would basically have a soft cap of around level 40 to 50 anyway, so, you know, like, leveling up to get enough points for all of these things would take fucking forever. Because it's like 10 per level, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, there's 9 layers. So you need to get at level 90, and as I said, the soft cap would hit somewhere between level 40 and 50, depending on how you played, so... just get rid of the level cap, you know, just soft cap it. Anyway, in terms of basic stuff you need, lockpicking is useful. So it decreases difficulty when you're lockpicking, is the standard one, of course. Always succeed when forcing very easy locks, always succeed when forcing easy locks, average locks, and hard locks. It's got that kind of system to it. So obviously you want to up lockpicking as best you can. That's a good one. Dispelling is... that's an alternate to lockpicking if memory serves. Sometimes a chest isn't locked, it's like magically locked. Yeah. It is technically possible to max every one of those skills. It requires using all the skill trainers and skill books in the game without doing too many in the wrong order. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be bothering to do that. I'm just going to have fun, play the game my way, you know. Detect hidden is quite useful. I mean, like, general alchemy is fine, you know, if you want to make that kind of stuff, but you can just as easily buy that stuff. Blacksmithing, again, it's fine, but you can buy stuff for that. Detect hidden is useful. Also, one of the items you can get in the special deliveries chest, Compass of Fate, originally given for pre-order to the original version, but included by default in the room, gives a +1 persuasion while it's in your inventory. Really? Oh, that's useful. +1 to persuasion, huh? Which is this one down here. That's basically your speech, as you would think of other ones. So just, you know, the chance of succeeding in a speech thing is just better. Lockpicking, as I said, is useful. Detect hidden is good because it puts stuff on the mini-map. That one's quite useful if you want to go for, like, getting all the stuff, you know, lore stones and stuff. Although it's also worth pointing out you can find maps online that will tell you where all the lore stones are, so you might not want to go all the way with that one, but it's useful. Dispelling, as I said, that's the alternate to lockpicking, which we talked about. Mercantile is buying and selling. Persuasion is speech. Sagecraft is yeah, that's like enchanting, as you would think of in other games, and stealth, but that one's speech for itself. As for what I want to do, I have a faint fucking clue what I'm going to go with this. As I said, in terms of combat, I'm probably going to go with mostly melee with a bit of ranged backing that up. And like I said, a couple of points into magic just to get the healing spells. Because that's just, it's useful to have as a backup, you know, just an emergency healing spell. What do I want right now? Probably start upping lockpicking. That'd be useful. What's the next level on detect hidden? Hidden treasure displayed in the minimap revealed if you go near them. Hidden treasure. We see hidden treasures will let me get more money. Money's good. Loot is good. I'm tempted to do one of these two. And you get more gold just in general for every single level of that. So, you know. Because it's like the ones with the little symbols in it. Those are like the perks, as you would think of it. But, yeah. We've got 2 points in lockpicking. Let's just plop another point into here. I think that would be useful. And the other thing you get is this. Now, this is like your big combat stuff. And there are 3 areas of combat. There's might, which is your basic melee stuff. There's finesse, which is like stealth and archery. And then there's sorcery, that speaks for itself. So how it basically works is the more points you put into this, the more that you can then level up. I think, yeah, it requires 5 points in sorcery, 20 points in sorcery, etc., etc., etc. You're never going to level this up in a bajillion years, so don't even bother trying. It's usually best to just pick a few things you want and focus on that. For instance, I'm going to be sticking to long swords mostly, probably dual wielding them by the time I get to them. So upping long sword stuff would be quite useful. As you can see, I've got 3 points here to spend. So you could spend like 1 point in every single thing if that's what you wanted to do. Actually, here's the magic. Really? I thought I needed sorcery. I didn't think I needed that. Well, there you go. So I'm going to need 20 points into sorcery before I can get in. I didn't think you needed that many points in sorcery. Or maybe they changed that, or maybe I'm misremembering it. But yeah, you can do that. You get 3 points a level, so yeah, there will be plenty to go around. You know, you have 30 points by the time you get level 10. But yeah, I want to put a point into here. That's definite. Put a point into archery. And I guess we're gonna have to start increasing sorcery eventually. We'll leave that for now. Let's put another point into long swords, just for now. So that'll do it. And what happens is the number of points you put into there affects like a sort of special perks sort of system, like a class system that gets unlocked in a bit. Anyway, it has just gone. Might as well put that on. It has just gone 4 o'clock, so we'll take a quick break. And when we get back, of course not, yeah. I tell you, another thing I really wish it had was like some kind of check all thing for the flashing item thing, because that's really annoying for me. But yeah, anyway, we will take a quick break, and when I get back, we'll continue, and we'll finally go off on our grand adventure. Back in a minute, guys. And I'm back. Alright, let's get going, shall we? Let's start by breaking a few boxes. Because you never know, there could be cash. There it is. There's the cash. Nice. Oh. Hello, you.
I saw you fighting there. We could have used more of you. Did they really have a troll?
Giant rock thing? Yeah.
I don't know how the Twather found us, but if they had a troll, it couldn't have been an accident. Fate was kind to collapse that doorway behind you, or they would have chased us into the glade. Good luck out there.
Now, if memory serves, yes. The world map. And look at the size of the world map. It's actually a pretty decently sized map. And you get like the different areas as well. You get like, this is the foresty area. You get over here, which is like the plains. You get here, which is the desert. That's the Teeth and Narrows map. And over here, God, this thing's slower than I remember. That's the Legend of Dead Kell map, which is, yeah, reasonably sized. Then you get here, you get the marsh area, and here you get the sort of final run up to the boss. So I could do kind of like, in a way that you can kind of see how well you're doing. And you can see what I mean, what I said earlier about how it's like split into chunks that you can explore. And you can literally just explore the game one chunk at a time, which is pretty good. Yeah, and you also get a local map, because I guess why not? I don't know. Nothing there. Nothing there. I'm pretty sure we can swim in this game. Yes, we can. Hey, look at me, Ma. I have no hands. Mostly legs. And there was a... Hang on. Nope, on the other side. Here we go. Aha! Close enough. Nice. Right, now this is one of the things I meant about the whole dispel thing. I don't remember exactly what the mechanic was. I remember. It's basically a quick time event. I'm pretty sure if you get that wrong, it explodes. But that's just me. Pretty sure that's the case. Are they anything good? Ooh. Ooh, that's good. Oh, what do you mean level 2? I am level... Oh no, I'm at level 1. That's right, you start at level 0, don't you? I forgot about that. But yeah, so you start at level 0, you don't start at level 1. Because of course... Oh. Nope. Some stuff I can use and some stuff I just can't. All right. Nice.
You. I remember you. You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here?
I followed the yelling. You know about the attacks?
No, I had no idea anything like that would happen. The Well of Souls is bigger than one gnome's pet project. My employer pays for information about its progress. I just send the reports to make some money on the side. I never wanted anyone to get hurt.
Of course you didn't. Who did you report to?
I promise you, if I knew who it was, I'd tell you.
Yeah.
Sharing research is one thing, but academic sabotage is a crime.
Pay me and you get to live.
I never meant for anyone to get hurt. But at this point, what's a little more blood on my hands?
He's a tough bugger. But that's fine. Yeah, so he was the one who betrayed you. I had a vague memory that that was the case, but I couldn't remember specifically. Anyway. You can wander around and try to gather the reagents, but it's... until you start leveling up, it's virtually impossible that you'll get anything. You might get occasionally lucky, but not really. Ah, yes, and these things are worth looking out for. These little bonuses you can get. Just sort of temporary little buffs you can use to make things easier for yourself. Wolves! Hello. Missed. Ow. Alright, you little shit. You can just back off. I'm not sure what a wolf is doing with some gold. Presumably just like ate it off a dead person. Don't question it. Don't question it. It's an RPG. Hey. If memory serves, this is just a little miscellaneous area you can explore just for some creatures to kill and to some loot to find, if memory serves. Yes, this way. Through the door. Think you can get rid of them? No. You just kind of have to avoid them, I think. I think you get the ability to disarm traps later? I think. I don't remember. We'll get through it. As I said, it's been a long time since I last played this game, so memory's gonna be a bit flaky. There it is. Nice. It's a kobold. Oh yeah, I forgot how annoying these guys are. Ow. Ow. Ooh, no, that's not good. Missed. Just be on the safe side. Works for me. Yeah, it's not that hard. It is basically the the same as like a Fallout or a Skyrim lock. You know, you turn the thing around and then that works. All right. Wow. Works for me. Oh yeah, that's right. You get repair kits because this game for some reason has weapon and item degradation. Because that's always a great mechanic to put into, you know, any game. Bloody degradation. Who the hell needs degradation? Ow. Ow. That's rude. Nice. Sweet. Grab all the loot you can always sell it later. Works for me. Ow. Alright, that's your lot for this little dungeon. Time to get the hell out of here. Before, you know, something else happens. You know, this game's a lot brighter than I remember it being. I remember it being more sort of darker, but then I could be thinking of a different area. Or, I did say, you know, I think they've updated the lighting, so that could be one of the things they've changed. I don't know. Ah, yes, this place. Hang on. Alright. That's more like it. That's also... I can't use that one. Hammers, daggers, bows. Helmet. It'll do. I'll put everything on that I've got for now. The rest can come later. And here we start getting into interesting stuff.
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fate Weaver, eh?
Fate Weaver?
Fate Weavers look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things. Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now.
What makes you think he's dead?
The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but Hughes' success would come on the day of his death. He took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that.
Cards?
You really don't know much, do you? A Fate Weaver taps into the threads of fate and channels that energy through a focus. My order prefers cards. The cards are unique to each Fate Weaver, since we all see the weave differently.
And like I said, this is like the point of the game that I really, really liked. It certainly is an idea. Like the idea that in this world, fate is an actual, real, tangible thing. Like, you know, a lot of people debate the idea of like fate. Like, you know, some things are like destined to happen. You can't change them no matter what. Versus just random chance. You know, the universe is just chaos. Random things happening at random times in random ways to generate a random outcome. And it's an idea that is both terrifying and kind of exciting. Because, you know, if there is a thing as fate, as there is in this world, then everything that happens is literally happening because it's meant to happen. You know, it's not happening because bad luck, or it's not happening because other reasons. No, things are happening because everything in the world has a structured order to it. And when I say everything, I mean literally every single thing in this world is bound to fate. Like, it's a thing. It actually exists. And the idea of an entire world working by some predestined plan is, as I said, it's both interesting and terrifying. My opinion, it would be purely terrifying, the idea that none of us have any choice in our actions. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, it depends on how you look at it. Because, like, if you saw your fate, and your fate was eventually you were going to be rich, and you were going to be famous, and you were going to have everything you've ever wanted in your entire life, then you'd be like, fuck, that's great, fantastic, bring it on. But then, you know, if it turned out your fate was that you were going to be responsible for the death of 1 million people, fuck, you know, it's like, fuck that noise. You know, you wouldn't want to do that. It's sort of the thing that, what was the name of that movie? It had Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson in it. Fuck. I think it's Unbroken or something like that. It's something like that. Like Unbroken, I think. But, yeah. You know, that movie deals with the idea of fate. And, you know, it deals with the idea of, like, what if you are destined, no matter what you do? What if you are destined to be the bad guy? What if you have no choice but to be the bad guy? How can you fight against something that is literally destined to happen? You know, should you just embrace it? Should you just embrace it and say, well, I'm going to kill people, so I'm just going to go off and I'm going to be a killer? You know, it's like, it's a terrifying idea, but it's also an interesting one. And the way they handle it in this is interesting, because we'll get into the nitty-gritty further down this conversation. But yeah, the idea of a world ruled by some nebulous destiny, I thought that was really, really interesting. And they do play with it quite a lot in this. Well, as I said, it'll take a long time to get to the really good stuff, and we'll get there. It'll take me several streams before I get to the really interesting things, but yeah. Even if it's a really cool part of Destiny, the idea that it was indeed destined and not really the result of your own choices and actions inherently lessens it. Well, maybe. I guess it depends on if you believe in like a bigger plan or something. Unless you're describing the antagonist of the House of Ballots, her entire motivation is to change the stories, so Jesus doesn't have to be stuck as the villain anymore. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is my point. Like, when everything in the entire world is tied to fate or destiny, what happens if you're just fed up of being the bad guy? You know, what happens if you don't want to be the bad guy? It's like Wreck-It Ralph, you know, I don't want to be the bad guy anymore, you know? And that's interesting. I think that is, like, as a philosophical stance, that is just, like, fascinating and interesting. And this is why my point is, like, in terms of basic gameplay, it doesn't have an original bone in its body, but the idea of fate and how it deals with the concept of destiny and, you know, predeterminism, that is like the meat of this game, and it's the one interesting part about it. If it hadn't been for that idea, I probably would never have finished this game, because otherwise it would probably just be a boring generic fantasy slog, you know? It's a really cool idea to explore and restore into one of the best aspects of this game. In reality, it would be completely horrifying. Yeah, true. I mean, you know, a lot of people argue about whether or not fate is real or not. And it is a thing where if you look at the universe, it just looks like random chaos. And, you know, just random things happening for random reasons and all that stuff. That seems to be how the universe works. Unless, and this is where being a scientist can be a little crazy, unless you look at quantum mechanics. Because the more they're looking into quantum mechanics, the more they seem to be seeing that actually everything that happens on a very fundamental level may actually be predictable and predetermined. So it might be that the entire of the universe is a scripted event. Sorry to throw an existential crisis at you there, Nova, but look it up. It's interesting stuff. Anyway. 5%. Can I?
I wish I could,
Nah,
but times
shame.
are tough. I've barely got enough to pay my bar tabs as it is.
Oh yeah, he's a drunk. I forgot about that. Yeah, because he's a fate weaver, so of course he can see his own fate. And where it ends. I just woke up in the tower. That's okay, I was dead too.
You're the one. Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
Hello. Alright. Wham. Alright. Ow. Yeah.
Another victim!
Ah yes, now we get the special move, which is really cool. I do quite like it. So what you do is you go into a kind of slow-mo mode. You knock everybody down to like low health, right? And then you can perform a fate shift. Like this. And it nets you extra experience points. If you're fast on the quick time events, of course.
Well fought.
Now that, I actually do quite like. It's sort of taking the idea of having a special ability that's slow time, but it does add that little extra twist to it.
Threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that.
I'm special.
You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that?
I'm a god, that's why. But yeah, and this is where it gets interesting, right? Because obviously my character lived, died, and then was brought back to life. In a world of fate, I am fateless. And I think that's a really interesting idea. Although I will say, it does sort of raise the question, like, if my death was fated, and technically speaking, my resurrection was fated, because Fate Weavers could see that the Well of Souls was going to work, how exactly am I outside of fate? If fate predicted my return, then surely every action I've done after that should also be fated. Wait, hang on a second. No, this is where it gets really fucking complicated. I don't know, just did it.
You just... Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it. How is that even possible? Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death.
That way Madless lies. Yeah. Well, you know, it is one of those weird things. It's like, well, you know, if something in fate puts you outside of fate, how can you be outside of fate if the thing in fate put you in fate? And you start sort of chasing the argument in circles if you're not careful. But again, that's one of the things I really like about it, because it means if a game is able to have you chasing arguments in circles, it means you're thinking about it. And I like that. I like that you can think about this game. Like I said, this is where the game gets really, really good. The story is probably the best element of this whole fucking game. It's like time travel. You need to accept it or else there's no story. Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things. Anyway, you all see death?
It's a gift. Some people paint landscapes. Other people write poetry. I peer into the weave of fate's tapestry and see people's deaths.
Is this why you sent me to you?
That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes.
Alright.
You're nervous. Relax. This is what fate weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much.
I think the actual story is pretty bare bones and generic, even if the premise is really cool. Just enjoy solid gameplay. Well, I mean, yeah, in terms of the specifics of the story, yeah, it's pretty bare bones. It's basically you've got a generic villain fighting a generic cleansing war, and you've got to beat him. That part of it is pretty generic. But, yeah, you know, it is that thing of, I like the touches to it. Like I said, everything revolving around like fate and destiny and how you are outside of it. I just find that a very, very interesting concept. It's a fun premise, you know? It's no Bayonetta, but wedding that style of hack stuff gameplay to an RPG is really cool. You know, I've never played Bayonetta. I've heard good things about it, and I own it on the Wii U, but I never got around to playing it. Because, you know, no one really played the Wii U all that much. Which is a bit faster and a bit more responsive. It would be A+ across the board. Honestly, again, it's the kind of thing you think, well, this was their first game. You can't expect perfection of game 1. If they got the chance to make a sequel, it would be like Borderlands 1 versus Borderlands 2, you know? Like, Borderlands 1, it's good, but it's a bit bland, a bit generic. It's a bit flat. Then Borderlands 2 it's brighter visually, it's got a lot more interesting characters, and the story is better, and the gameplay is punchier. Like, if these devs had done a 2 rather than trying to do an MMO, I think Kingdoms of Amalur 2 would have been a much better and more enjoyable game, I think, because they would have honed their craft, they would have fine-tuned things slightly, and I think it would have been just better, you know? Playing Devil May Cry and Bayonetta has spoiled this for me. That's fair enough. I've also never played a Devil May Cry game, so, you know, I can't really speak to that. But, alas, what might have been. Yeah, they should have done Kingdoms of Amalur 2 rather than trying to shoehorn out some shitty-ass MMO that no one gave a shit about. I mean, they're still pumping out MMOs. I mean, you got that, oh, Christ, I can't even remember the name of it. That Amazon MMO. Have you seen that? I saw a video of Many a True Nerd playing that, and it just looks boring as fuck. How do people play MMOs? The only reason Warcraft is still going is because it's had a long time to, A, develop a loyal fan base, and B, it's actually had the chance to hone its gameplay to make it better and more fun. Okay, highly recommend both Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. Although bear in mind, Devil May Cry didn't really find its footing until the third one. I was paying zero attention to it. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I didn't even know it was a thing until Many a True Nerd did a video on it. And I watched him play it and I was like, wow, this just looks so bad. Anyway. I'm real, you must be drunk. Anyway, yes, you can't see my fate.
Fate's weave is always hard to see. It's in motion, hard to make out, but undeniably there. Yours is just missing. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine.
His reaction if you pick the must be drunk line, he's like, well, I am, and that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, like he's constantly drunk because like his backstory is basically he saw his own death after he became a Fate Weaver, and now he's just massively depressed. So anyway, yeah, this is your, I guess, character class kind of thing. It's not really a class because you can change this on the fly whenever you want. But these are basically, depending on what you've unlocked, because they require different levels in your might, your finesse, or your sorcery. So as you upgrade those different areas of your character, you can unlock more of these. So obviously you've got like the rogue, you've got the brawler, and you've got the acolyte for 1 point in sorcery, 1 point in might, and 1 point in finesse, which you get naturally. Those are naturally yours. And of course here, you can see in just the might one, you get 11 points, 28 points, and 49 points, 76 points, and 109 points. I think 109 points is the max. I think that's as high as it can go. And that's just exclusively for might, exclusively for finesse, and exclusively for sorcery. But here you get mixes. Here you can get, as you can see, 6 and 6, 14 and 14, 25 and 25. This was something Nova mentioned before about how he kinds of wished there had been a few more of these. Like, say, what if you had finesse at 25 and sorcery at level 50, for instance? Like uneven ones. So not quite max. You have a few extra points beyond that for some wiggle room if you want to slightly mix and match stuff. Total points you have at level 40 is 120. Yeah, I meant like I think 109 is the number of points in each section. Like you can put 109 points into might, 109 points into finesse, and 109 points into sorcery. I think that's what it is, off the top of my head. But yeah, as you say, and it's about 120 points in total. So you have a little bit extra to sort of spread around. But yeah, so the idea is that as you level up your stuff, you can increase this. And like here, like if you go for all 3, then you can start getting these things. And as you can see, they give you like buffs. You get like, you know, damage for all of your stuff. Equipment crimes reduced by 25. Oh, it's 120 to max out everything in skill tree. Is it? Okay, I couldn't remember. But yeah, so as you go along, you can do sort of just stuff like this. So melee attack damage. I guess I'll take brawler for now, seeing as I'm mostly focusing on melee. Get rid of that. And the thing is, you can actually change these whenever you want. And I think that's a really good thing, because it means you can like adapt your gameplay style as you're leveling up. You don't have to like lock yourself into a gameplay style right off the bat, because at the early starts, because you're kind of generically good at everything at the start before you start specializing, you can kind of practice and get a feel for the kind of gameplay you want to have. And I do think it's one of those things that I would recommend at this. The gameplay is good. Like, you know, as I said, it's nothing amazing, it's nothing fantastically new. There are games that have done it better, but it does it competently. That's the thing. Nothing new, but everything good. Okay, anyway, what did you see?
I can see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of them. Normally the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you.
Oh dear, what does this mean?
It could mean nothing. Or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that. Or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings. But we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower.
All right.
Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrum. I wrestled the Colossus priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight. You can find Arden's little cottage in the middle of Joven. Had to move there when he got run out of town. He's a damned good Fate Weaver, but that doesn't make you very popular. Especially not in dark days like these.
Ah.
We are all threads in the tapestry of fate. Measured, woven, and cut according to a great plan. Fate Weavers undertake the task of reading those threads. Our title always was a bitter lie, since we have no control over how that tapestry is woven. But you do. And when a Fate Weaver looks at your place in the weave, we see only the shapes of what you may choose to become.
And yeah, it's also something like it's sort of implied but never really stated that, like, you know, if there is a fate and there is like a tapestry and it's been specifically planned, it's never really explained who planned it. Like, he says that fate is only up to the gods, but with the exception of the, and I'm using quotes here, god you fight at the end of the game. It's not really a god, it's just a really big, powerful thing. You know, the gods themselves are sort of vague, nebulous things that kind of hover over everything. You hear them by name, and you can use their shrines to give yourself buffs, but they don't really come into it. That's something they honestly could easily have explored if in a sequel, I guess, perhaps. Maybe. I don't know.
The Fate Weavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news, and all the news in the world is getting worse. The Order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost, and all I foretell is the fate of my beer. And I see it being empty soon. The Tuatha aren't like any Fae I've ever known. They're cruel, bloodthirsty, and savage. Why, they're practically human. That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there.
All right.
What could this all mean?
Nothing there either. Alright, we'll head off around the corner to the first town. Oh yeah, that's right, you got one of these wall stones along the way. Oh, Legend of Dead Kel, there we go. Wham! I think I get the teeth and arrows showing up about the same time, don't you? There it is. No, I didn't want to actually... Never mind. Yeah, so you get these three main quests. We'll stick with that one for now. We don't have any faction quests, special delivery. Ah, yeah, that's all the stuff. It's the stuff you get in the thing. Okay. Hey, look, it's a lore stone. No, what's that? Well, if you mix and match, you can find some really interesting skill synergies. Like if you go Might and Finesse, you can combine that mind-throwing ability I mentioned before with a grappling hook from Might to toss out bombs and then yank and then into one. It will explode for them for heavy damage. Yeah, I mean, there's like a good amount of thought put into the actual, you know, combat system. As I said, it's not bad. It's just, you know, you've kind of seen it before.
Of all the songs in halls of lore, there echoes none more grand than Olain's many feats of might, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
Don't give up your day job, pal. And the lore stones were just like the best idea in this freaking game. As a reward for exploration, you not only learn more about the world, but you get free XP. So you actually have motivation to seek out the sources of new information. Great way to encourage players to get invested in the lore. Yeah, lore stones were really good. Some of them are actually very entertaining as well. Some of them are quite funny. And a lot of them do contain, as you say, you know, important and interesting lore about the world and the characters and all that stuff. And some of them are just a little bit sort of miscellaneous, I guess. But, yeah, that's the fun. It's a secret thing, man. And here we have our first town. I want to say it's called Gorhart. And as usual, you walk into town and something's going on. Yay, Gorhart. I can fast travel. Because of course you can. I like to fast travel to my local map to the world map. Yeah. So, fast traveling, basically anything on the map, you can fast travel to. It's nice, it's simple. The main issue is they relegate the entire backstory of the villain to a few lore stones in the final area. If you miss them, you never learn anything about how he rose to power or anything. Yeah, I mean, that never really bothered me because I was absolutely going for all the lore stones when I played it. Because, you know, I'm that kind of gamer.
Everyone just stand back. The warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
Move along. Nothing to see here. Move along. Hello.
Keep moving. This business doesn't concern you. Unless you're an expert scholar on the Fae, I'd suggest you move along. No reason to be out in the open with the Red Legion about.
Look, he's got an exclamation mark above his head. I guess that means he's got a quest.
I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this.
Honestly, considering how loudly she's moaning, I don't think she's hurt that badly. Like, if she's got the energy to moan and roll around this much, she's probably just got a stitch.
It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade. Likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds.
Who attacked them?
It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days. But it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though.
I'll help.
Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Eri. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I am a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started.
Okay. Noted. Building bridges. So yeah, as per normal in a sort of place like this. You have to be a bit careful about that. If you kill chickens, people tend to take issue with that. So yeah, you do have to be a bit careful. But yeah, just look for the people with the exclamation marks and you'll be fine.
Order that Mitharu has given us. I see no
Quest
order
time.
in obstructing the truth. That is...
Welcome to St. Odwig's perpetual mission. I would invite you in, but the Order has been too trusting in the past. We try to learn from our mistakes. Although, one never knows what might be a test of faith. You have arrived just when I am in need of aid. So perhaps Mitharu is at work.
Need help?
We at St. Odwig's have worked for years to establish a presence on this hill. It's not been without its challenges. The call of the Feylands does not fall upon deaf ears, and many of our youngest don't have the will to resist. Take Brother Egan, for example. 2 nights ago, Egan ventured past the walls to collect firewood and never returned. We must find him before anything happens.
Why are you worried?
Oderath is a savage land. Every day we must face both the beasts of the wood and the evil of wicked hearts. I fear for Brother Egan's soul. He knows nothing of the world of Fey and Alpha, trust and temptation. He is like a baby, eyes wide at the world around him.
Honestly, he probably just took a look at your face and ran off, because frankly, that's fucking terrifying.
Mitharu be praised.
Anyway.
His order reigns supreme. Brother Egan was last seen northeast of here, just off the road near the Fey ruins. Please find him. Perhaps then we can welcome you into the fold with open arms.
Okay.
Goodbye.
And another quest. Very good.
Cast down the brothers of St. Odwig's. Only when they fall to earth will they realize they are not above us. Insist that St. Odwig's admit monks of all sexes and races into its ranks, or tell them to peddle their poison elsewhere.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, if memory serves, that chest that's currently sitting over there contains all my special loot, but my inventory is practically full. So let's just wander around, find a good place to sell some stuff, and we'll be fine. And there's also people dotted around here with quests, of course, because it's a town. That's where you get quests. I will say the quests in this game can be a bit grindy. A lot of them are very fetch questy. Like, in fact, most of them, I should say, are very fetch questy. It's no Greedfall in terms of how good its quest design is, unfortunately. You know, one of those things. But anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, inventory, weapons, primary. Still not level up enough for that. I want hammers. Oh. Hello, what you got?
You there? Do you feel nauseous? Itchy? Have you noticed any blood leaking from your eye sockets? I've been noticing the symptoms everywhere. No, this situation could not be any worse. If the Red Legion is involved, then we could all be staring death in the face. What have I done?
What?
Why ask questions when you could never understand the answers? It's clear your prowess is not with wit, but with a weapon. If you must know, something of value has been stolen. An alchemical formula that, if released, could cause untold devastation. I see its symptoms everywhere. Only my apprentice, Karth, and I knew of my work on the formula, but he's gone missing as well.
What is the formula?
It was an early version, unstable and rife with potential dangers. My hope is to develop a weapon that the Alfar can bring against our common enemy, the Tuatha. To say more would be to reveal my secrets. All I can say is that it involves lesions, goiters, and a good deal of pus.
Sounds yummy.
His name was Karth Hilfred. I found him one morning outside my door, picking through the ember eyes. I was impressed how well he knew his way around a plant. I've never seen one so eager to learn.
Alright, well, if it's a quest, I guess I'll help.
I do not deserve such goodwill after what I've engineered. If disaster occurs in Oderath, it will be on my head. I'm not sure where Karth may have gone, but I knew that before he came to me, He found shelter in the ancient chambers of Agnurfar Hall, an Irathi ruin east of Gorhart.
Gesundheit.
Once you've ensured Karth's safety, you must learn what's happened to my formula. When you do, destroy it. It's the only way to keep us safe.
Okay.
Farewell.
Ah, yes, the alchemy lab. I don't really want to do that right now. But you can find a whole bunch of stuff that's fun and necessary. Obviously, things that are, like, you know, things that would be stealing if you took them, fortunately, are listed in red, as you can see. I don't know if there's too much else to look at. Probably not. Yeah, we'll be fine. I don't know if I can talk to her as an actual shop.
Please, Lee, time is of the essence. That's never been more true.
Ah, yeah, there's a shop. What have you got? Bunch of stuff. Alright.
Goodbye.
Alright, let's keep checking the shops. Oh, that's... Oh, of course, that's actually would be an easier thing to do. That just reminded me of something. One of the things this game has, which is, again, a nice little touch, and I've forgotten about it before now, is you can actually set things to junk, right? And it's usually a good idea to do so. Things you don't want, put in junk, and you'll be good to go. How close am I to level 2? Reasonably close. So yeah, if you put things you don't want into junk, that means you can just sell them when the time comes. It's not a problem. You do have to be a little careful how you do it, because you can sometimes accidentally put the thing you're wearing into junk too, and that means you've got to get it out of the junk pile, and that can sometimes be irritating. Of course, putting things into junk doesn't automatically push them out of your inventory. I don't really need that. And what you can do is when you go talk to a shop seller, it's just like sell all the junk. And it's nice and easy. I'd forgotten about that until I was sort of looking. It's like, oh, sell junk. Oh, that's right. You can assign things as junk. Makes it nice and easy to work with. Hello.
Welcome to Gorhart, the last settlement before the Feylands. How can I fill your pack today?
The junk feature is so useful. Yeah, I'd actually forgotten about that. Alright, now... Ah, yeah, there it is. Now, it's something to keep an eye on. I'm pretty sure every major town sells a backpack. And what it basically is it increases your carry capacity limit by 10. It's the only way you can increase it. And I think there's only like 4 in the whole game. You don't get much in the way of capacity increases for what it is. Wasn't every major town, but a few of them. Yeah, it's like, there's only like 4 or 5 in the whole game. I can't remember exactly where. But they're expensive. Obviously, I'll be coming back here to get one later. Because like gold is, it's not hard to come along with, but at the start, obviously, it takes a while to build up the numbers. The total cap, including the one from the Narrows, was 130 items. I knew it capped somewhere like that. As I said, I couldn't remember the specifics. Alright.
Come see me again.
I'm sure I will. Well, it's not in red. No one's complaining. Hello.
Are you here for a weapon? Going to earn a lord's favour in this ridiculous war, are you?
Nah, not really.
So long.
Anyway. Oh, hey, Devastation. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Open the special delivery chest and sell most of it. You can afford the backpack easy. Yeah, that is true. I wanted to clear out my inventory before I did that, because now my inventory is only at 24. So yeah, we'll have a look in the special deliveries chest now. How am I? I am doing okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. A little tired, but you know, we're in the last hour of my stream, so usually the way of it. Right, where's that? Around here, isn't it? Special delivery. Alright. You get a lot of stuff. God, there's actually more here than I remember. Never seen this game. Is it famous? I wouldn't say it's like hugely famous. It's certainly popular. It's certainly got sort of a bit of a cultish following. I think that's sort of fair to say. Remaster gives you everything you could ever get in the chest, pre-order items, collector's editions, and the ones in the DLC. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Probably more stuff than I can like. It is that sort of thing where I kind of want to keep everything in here. But at the same time, most of it I'm probably never going to use. Yeah, okay. See, I told you there wasn't going to be enough. Alright, we'll leave the... Ooh, hello. Hey, that's nice. New stuff. Anyway, let's sell the stuff I don't need. And we'll actually equip the stuff I do want. We can equip that. Sell the stuff I really don't need. Now 17, 17, 18. And the Mass Effect 3 crossover. Yeah, the stuff that's labeled like Shepard's equipment, that's actually based on Mass Effect. Was it Mass Effect 3? I thought it was Mass Effect 2. Oh no, Mass Effect 2 had the crossover with Dragon's Age, didn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was Poison. Poison's not bad. 12. Although that's... I'll go with that one, I think. Base, staffs, don't need any of that stuff. Armor, what do we got? Ooh, 33. Shepherd's helmet? That works. Ah, okay, hang on. Oh, that's health regen. It was Mass Effect 3. If you played the demo for Amalur, you get some fancy armor in Mass Effect 3. And if you played the demo for Mass Effect 3, you get the Shepherd's armor and Omniblades. Ah, I couldn't remember exactly. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. much stuff here. I've forgotten about all this. Block 7 damage, reckoning duration. I've got to equip that one. Remember that when I tried Amalur's demo. I bought the game in the first place. Lucky enough to play the remaster 2 years later. Yeah, that's fair. I have to go for, because the shepherd's one seems to have more health regeneration. Health regeneration is good. Let's switch over to the shepherd stuff and see what we get total on that. Shepherds. Hey, full set. Yeah, it looks vaguely Mass Effect-ish. Especially the lines down the side. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, so that's 10 health. What's my Mass Effect? So you do get 0.1 health regeneration on that. The Vigilant one... So you get those 0.1 health regeneration naturally, and then the rest is all... I'm never sure if the Shepherd's one or the... Looking at these... Oh, you also get mana regen goes up to... Armor, elemental resistance. Or see, that's also got basic health regeneration. Yeah. Sorry, so give me a moment. I just need to go through all this stuff. You get a lot of stuff with this, and I think some of it is actually worth, you know, keeping. Most of it I'll probably be getting rid of, though. Selling. You get a good chunk of cash out of all this stuff, so it's worth looking into. But I think... Yeah. Instantly gain 500 experience points. Okay. No point in not using that. It's 500 experience points. What else we got? Compass of Fate. +1 persuasion. Yep. This magical rod will help you find special elements usable in alchemy. Will it now? That's nice. And hey, we hit level 2. Alright, level up time. What do I want now? Look, my persuasion's got a green block in it. That's because I'm wearing armor, which is telling me what that's doing. Right, do I want to make lockpicking easier? Do I want to make dispelling easier? What do I got on this one? Enemies facing is displayed on the minimap. Ooh, that could come in handy. Because you have the Compass of Fate. Yeah, I meant like it's because I've got an item that's upping my abilities. I know I said armor, but same difference. You know what I meant. It's because something in my inventory is giving me up stats. That's what I meant. I knew what I meant. I know what I'm talking about. Just because you don't know doesn't mean I don't know. Right. Anyway, let's see. Enemies facing on the minimap would be bloody useful. And then you can disarm... Oh, disarming traps would be useful. So, okay, let's head towards that for now. Right. So we'll put a point there. Another point there. I think we'll start moving up with sorcery too. Because I want to get to that one. I can remember needing 20 points. So I'm going to need to put at least 25 points into there. But it's only 25. It won't be a big issue. So we'll just... the compass and the dowsing rod are the most useful items in the chest long term. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to want to up that, I guess, because it's something to up. Could come in handy in a pinch. And as you can see, I've now unlocked Seeker, which actually ups pretty much everything, because I'm currently on Brawler, which is directly 15% to melee damage. Or you can go for a more general of 7% all around. I mean, equip requirements reduced by 25 is also quite nice, but I think I'll stick with Brawler for now. Mark that off. There we go. Right, yeah, so I need to sell shit. Oh, yeah, that means I need to put stuff into junk. We got 19, 15, 25. Do I want to up to you? I mean, the beast looks nice, but its damage is only 19, whereas that's 25. Although that does get bleeding damage and has piercing damage. Honestly, if you're going to go as far as 25 points into sorcery, you might as well do a full might sorcery hybrid build, since you're locking out the ultimate might destiny. Yeah, it's weird. Why do I remember taking that? When I know for a fact I almost always focus exclusively on might. I don't know, it's weird. I could have sworn I remember taking that before. And yet looking at the numbers now, I don't know, maybe they did change slightly. I don't think they did, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, add to junk. Get rid of you. Pretty sure the one I've already got equipped is on the thing. Alright, that. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Welcome. Care to part with some gold?
No, but you can. Alright, this should net me a pretty healthy sum. Ooh. And then I can buy that backpack. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Now we'll get the rest of the stuff in the chest. That'll net me even more, and that'll give me a good surplus hanging around in the background. Nice. There we go. I'll assume that this is desperately good. No, nothing amazing there. Nah, nothing much. Alright, so get rid of you. So I don't know if I want to get rid of that one because it's weaker, but screw it. It'll work for now, but I'm probably going to be getting rid of the shepherd stuff eventually anyway. Mostly because eventually it'll just like stop being as useful. Because obviously items are like different stats as you get better through the game, so...
Yes, what do you need?
Money! Really? That wasn't as much as I'd hoped. Oh well. Take all of that.
Goodbye.
What have I still got in my inventory? Do need to find a place to get rid of all the books and scrolls and whatnot. Always find your inventory have always felt aggressively limiting in this game. But maybe that's just me because I'm a hoarder. Gotta grab everything. Alright, step into here. Pretty sure there's a quest in here too. This is one of the things I actually quite like about this game, is that it's got faction quests, but it's not like the New Vegas Fallout 4 style faction quest where joining one faction sort of prevents you from joining the others. You know, it's not like that. It's like each faction quest. It's more like Skyrim in that regard, or Greedfall, in that every faction has its own quest line and it's completely separate and unique to that quest, that faction, sorry. And I prefer that. I've always preferred that. Because I hate having to choose sides.
Times are hard, but hard times can pay if you're willing to take risks. If you have the sword and stomach for this sort of work, we could use another strong arm among the Warsworn.
Well, you know, I'd like it to be able to, like, see your face, but there's kind of a woman sweeping in the way at the moment.
Some may try to
There
cover
it
it
is.
with fancy words, but we're warriors for hire, the best in these lands. You'll find those who have taken the oath are held in the highest respect all over Amalur.
I'd like to join.
You could head straight to Shieldring Keep and pledge your sword. Might work, but a commendation from me would carry a lot of weight. To earn it, you must do something commendable. There are two brothers, scoundrels of the Red Legion, named Osgar and Medgar Krast. Bring me proof you've dealt with them. I'll pay in coin and my good word.
Where are
Osgar hides somewhere in the woods north of here. Medgar was last seen east of his brother's camp. Bring me their Legion daggers, and I'll pay with coin, and a commendation to join the order.
Thank you. Alright. Nice. Especially when it's something like Fallout New Vegas, where both sides of the conflict are different but equally awful. When you actually get right down to it, the NCR are no less imperialist than the Legion. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the NCR at least has better morals. Or at least they tell themselves that. So, you know, it's one of those things. But it is a thing where... I'm finding this out about as I'm playing the Outer Worlds. It's like, in that game, you get these little sort of local conflicts where you'll have two factions vying over an area. And, you know, if you're careful, it doesn't really matter which one you join, because there's enough options after the fact to, like, make peace between the two groups. And it's just like, well, if that's the problem, why even present us with the option in the first place? Why not just have the quest being you making peace with them? You know, if you force us to make a choice of siding with a faction, but then you get the option after you've made the choice to side with a faction being, oh, but now we can all be friends and all join together. Why not have that be the quest? Rather than forcing us down the arbitrary path of, oh, you've got to make a choice here. Because it's not really a choice. There are some quests in this game where you have to make choices and characters may or may not die, but only a handful of them have any gameplay effect, which is a bit strange. Yeah, especially considering it's a game all about fate and destiny and the fact that you're able to change it. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's like it's got a lot of high ideals, this game has, but it doesn't really explore that much. One of those things, I suppose.
Need something?
I think that's the prison, isn't it? Right, so, one of the things I also quite like about this, and if we go to the local map... Is it a local map? Yes, it is. But you can see we've got all these little dots. Actually, we should be able to... We could see it on the world map. No? Okay. Well, whatever. Anyway, maybe it is on the local map. How it basically works. Have they changed this? I remember it being... I remember this game having, like, the ability to put markers on... I don't know. No. I had it in my head that you could get all the markers showing up on your map. Like that they were always there, or... I had that in my head that that was a thing you could do. Because obviously it shows you where your sort of quest thing is, but I had it in my mind that like all the little markers showed up scattered across the whole map. I may be misremembering that, or maybe I'm not doing something right or anything. I know you got this. And for the record, you can eventually get the entire world map here. So maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, basically you just follow the rings. Follow all the little dots. Hey, Chromatic. How are you doing? Haven't seen you around for a while. Looks like, if I'm remembering who you are correctly, I'm sure you've been here before. I don't usually remember names, but sometimes I actually remember people who show up around here occasionally. You have been? Yeah, I had this vague feeling you had. Oh god, boggarts. I hate boggarts. They're so irritating. Grab you. Because why the hell not, right? That's a bear. Have some electricity. You doing good? Good to hear. Come on. Take it. There's another one. Hey.
I don't know if what the Fae say about these stones is true, but if it is, well, this is just too good to not save forever. Lystrom was out of town when Artol was visiting. Now, Lystrom doesn't know Artol, and Artol is older and strange. She could be mistaken for a Fate Weaver. So, when Lystrom came back to town, here was Artol the Oracular. I said to Lystrom, I hear her readings are amazing. You should go. Oh my, you should have seen it. A rooster, she said, will change into a man, and this man will become your lover. He will provide for you, and he will make you laugh, and he will make your life exciting and easier. But, and this is something you can never forget, he must never eat chicken. And once in a while, you will need to peck at things on the ground, and every morning at the break of dawn, you'll hear a loud cry from him.
I love that one. That always makes me laugh. Anyway. Ooh, right across. Lucky. It's so good. Yeah, that one's an absolute classic. I friggin' love that one. What kind of Monster Hunter is this? I've only ever played one Monster Hunter game. And it was Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii. It's a fucking awful game. Anyway, let's go do things. Which quest is this? I don't know. I think it's this one. Yes. Yes, it is.
What you doing down here? Don't you know Agna Farhold is haunted by the spirits of the Arathi? So, are you foolish or just stupid?
Neither.
Oh, I see. The Twisted Gnome has found herself a champion. How delightful. Nanny always was a fool. So immersed in her work that she failed to see the deception before her very eyes. The Red Legion has her formula, because I gave it to them. At this very moment, they are moving crates of it eastward towards the city of Rathir, where they will fetch a high price. Poor Nanny. So trusting, so pathetic. Of course she can never learn of my ruse, can she? I'm sorry. I have no choice.
Whoa. Get. Works for me. All right. All right. So now what we got to do is just run around and destroy boxes. Nice. You only played Monster Hunter 3 for the 3DS, you didn't like it much? I never played... Here's the thing, I tried Monster Hunter Tri and really didn't like it, so I never really bothered playing another one. I've heard that Monster Hunter World is pretty good, but it's also an MMO, and like, no interest in that whatsoever, so, you know, screw it. You know, likey the MMOs. You say you gave it a Monster Hunter try. Shut up! I should ban you for that. But yeah, if you've ever played Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii, don't. It's rubbish. Or at least I didn't like it very much. It's one of those games where you play it for about 20 hours and the game is still throwing tutorials at you. Ugh. I don't know if that's like a Japanese thing. It's one of those conversations I think I've had before, but you kind of feel like a lot of Japanese games just have tutorials for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I don't know, just one of those weird things. Nice. Monster Hunter 3 for the 3DS actually a port of the Wii version. Oof. You have my sympathies. And oh, excuse me. Apparently you also have my sneezes. No. Hello. Ow. Hey, fate ready. Aha.
Sometimes this is too hard to believe. But you can accept the strangest fact that you were wrong. Yes, but that and this endless vacuity is horrible. The Ancient Ones were here. They delivered themselves into the world. The time-worn cycle turns with ages. The seasons drift along the stream. They wait for the past. The future brings the forming storm. This is no place for a home, for anyone.
Random mutterings, I assume. I don't think that leads into much else. I mean, just sort of vague and nebulous sort of things, like maybe this or that or the other, but I don't think that leads into anything too much else. A lot of them are kind of random, the lore stones, but yeah, that's just the way it is. Hello. keep it chugging along. Nope, that's dead. So much stuff. Wall stones in a specific area are usually tied together, no matter which order you find them in the pieces of their story in order. Yeah, I always wondered that, because I'm pretty sure that chicken one I found in different places before. Hello. Alright. Whack.
These walls are grown, are built of stone. Lovingly this place was crafted. You see the lights, the mystic halls of ordered reality? They are the faces of the missing, the embodied truth of the lost souls. There are so many of them. Still, you can see them. They are like pathetic charades, some with good intentions, and you can't fault them that. But the majority of them are just a hoax. Needless to say, I don't like it here. You could have stayed free and lived a comfortable life, but you couldn't settle the disquiet that haunts people like you.
A lot of well thought out things in this game, but then there are other weird sloppy things like the sheer number of glitches. I think elements of this game were probably rushed. You know, because I mean, this game was ultimately overlorded by EA, and like they set your deadline for like, you know, like at the start of the project they say, right, you're releasing on this date, and that is non-negotiable, and that often like hurts development cycles and stuff. So, you know. Right, so we've got all those boxes scattered around up there. Excellent, that's fine. Ah, bear. You also notice the sheer density of quests in Delath drops off significantly once you move into later regions, especially the second continent. So it's clear way more work went into the early parts of the game and they started to rush a bit later. Honestly, that is kind of par for the course. If you look at a lot of games, you can clearly tell like the opening parts were much better done. Hello. That is actually very common in game design. Have some lightning. Yeah, they know everyone's going to play the opening, but a lot of players aren't going to finish it. Yeah, it's one of those things that sort of, I guess, doesn't confuse me, but it just sort of makes me think, well, yeah, but that often leaves like a sour taste in the mouth of anyone who actually does finish the game. Like, honestly, I remember completing this game the first time, and the last boss is, like, visually quite pleasing, but in terms of gameplay, it's a bit of a letdown, because you don't fight the giant monster, you just fight its little minions instead, and that's just kind of like, well, you know, we could have had a fight with a giant ass monster. That could have been fun. That might have been an interesting visual to end on. But nope, because the game can't handle a fight like that. You got to do something else, which is a shame. But you know, What you gonna do? Enough. Oi.
Yes? What could a mortal vagabond need with Casmaran the Eternal, messenger of the Fey folk? Speak! My time may be of the ages, but it is still precious.
It was even worse during the shareware days when the first free episode of the game would have tons of effort and unique assets. Just turning the creativity dial all the way up to 11, and the later episodes you'd usually need to pay for would have way less work put into them since they aren't trying to sell you the game anymore. Yeah, that's also true. Although there were good ones. You know, it's not to say that there weren't any good ones during that era, but, you know, they were rarer. The day and age and stuff like that. Just times have changed, but not that much.
Wait, Father Dinwell sent you, didn't he? Old fool. His path to power was too plodding, and now he wishes to slow me down too. I have new friends, Fey friends. They are named Finna and Arbos, and they have sworn to share their secrets with me and to gift me with true magic. In exchange, they want an ancient treasure buried in the caverns of Waterhall Down. I'll retrieve it, eventually, as soon as I, feel like it. They are Fey twins, and they are beautiful, magical creatures. They've promised to teach me magic, to help me see the world as it really is. All they require of me is to fetch for them this relic. It's quite a bargain, believe me.
You'll die without me.
Fine, if you want to be so noble, but don't expect any of the treasure. This is my key into a powerful new future, a future full of magic and wonders. Let's go.
Oh boy, here we go.
See you later.
Unfortunately, we gotta follow this prick, otherwise he'll get himself killed. Because he's an idiot. Which is kind of the point of his little quest, is that he's an absolute fucking idiot who doesn't know the first thing about anything.
Stay close. See some Fae?
All right.
If we're going to press on, then I'll ask you to stay close. I have no courage to speak of. Honest. Ask Father Dinwell. Local legend says that the great Fey mage Armin the Clever retreated to these caverns to hide his treasures from mortal hands. Among them, the Selkie Vale.
Yes, of course.
Bye then.
Right. Let's get this one done and out of the way and sort of cross it off the
Casmaran
list.
fears nothing.
Good for him. I can't remember. I think you might actually be immortal while you're on the quest. And again, I could be wrong about that. I just never had him get hurt enough for that to be an issue. I don't actually know. Are you stuck? Have you gotten yourself stuck?
Watch out for wild Fae.
Never mind, he just wasn't moving forward because I wasn't with him. Wow, thank you for that. Alright, you big gormless idiot. Come on, let's go.
Soon I will be all powerful.
Yeah, sure about that. Nice.
Watch out for wild things.
Works for me. Let's get out of here. I do like that this level design has the so-called Skyrim door, the fast way out, because, well, frankly, kind of necessary. Hello. Do we really need to be doing this, man? I don't think we do. I mean, you know, while we're here, I guess. I've got to kill you. Easy. That's right, I gotta check his body for the proof. Nice.
Didn't think we'd make it.
Yeah, I knew we would. Okay, you wait there a sec. Gotcha. Just destroying all the boxes. Because that's good for the quest, I guess. Nice. Right, thank you for that. Off you go.
It's good to be outside again.
Now we get the big, shocking twist.
Arbos and Finna will be waiting. Come, their camp is not far. Bye then.
Hello.
What is this? Our little Egan has made a friend? I have a feeling this is going to be a problem.
Correct. You're clearly not Fae.
Obviously. Anyone who has ever glimpsed a Fae would know that. Unlike little Egan here, your head holds more than fantasies. The Feylands are such fertile ground for games. The inhabitants are so oafish you can fill your pockets with hardly any effort. Are you going to give us what's rightfully ours, or do we need to start a new game? My brother and I are always ready to play.
Ooh, the veil is cursed 95%. Come on, you can do that.
Cursed, is it? Huh. It does look like you are well acquainted with misfortune. Keep the veil, then. There are other treasures to be had in the Feylands.
Thank you.
Make certain our paths do not cross again, or my brother will add his mark to your scars.
I didn't know. How could I? Before I came to Gorehart, I'd never known anyone outside my immediate family. Everything was so new, so magical. You must think me a fool. And Father Dinwell... Come, let's return to the mission. I must ask forgiveness of so many. Bye then.
You'll be fine. Do I actually have to guide him back? I think I do, don't I? God damn it. Okay, what do we got? We got that one down there. Which one are you? Right, that's the other craft. Okay. What time is it? Ooh, 5 to 6. Okay, well we can just wrap up these little quests I've got knocking around. Shouldn't be an issue. Oh.
I have a secret to tell you. I am not sad. When I was a girl, my father used to tell me that when you grow old with someone, you tie your fates together and create a pattern that is part yours and part theirs. My father said that this is why when an old person dies, their partner is never far behind. But I do not feel that way. I feel free.
Well, that's nice. I spot this earlier as I was walking down. Hello.
If I have to live for the rest of my life without him knowing, well then I'll deal with that. I think there's something to be said for it. I think it's noble. Yeah, I could tell someone, but that's just asking for praise. What makes it an act of kindness is that nobody knows, or at least that he doesn't know. I let him have the glory. No one has to know his arrow missed. He saved the town. He's a hero.
Yeah, I like the ones around here because you kind of feel like they're just little stories of like the locals. They don't mean much in the grand scheme of things. They're just nice little stories, nice little story touches and beats and whatnot. It's fun. Hey, level up. Saw that coming, you git. Okay, that I didn't. Wasn't there a... Ah. Missed you before. Also got the level up. I know. Got a couple of minutes, I can do that. Just want to talk to her up here first. Hello.
May your hollow gods keep you, mortal. I am called Aerie. Your face is new to me. You are different from those in Gorhart. They amuse me, and I strive to learn all I can from them. Have you come to ask about the Tuatha? I can offer only what I know, and hope it will suffice. Yes, I witnessed this crime, although I did not recognize the one who perpetrated it. It is often difficult to distinguish one mortal from another. The victim was Illuvia, but I knew her only by name. You must be hoping that I can offer advice, but I cannot. If she is meant for the Great Cycle, then so be it. However, I would be quite interested to find out whether one of my kind would benefit from one of your mortal remedies. I've always wondered. It will need to be powerful. Your delicate forms are far more sensitive than ours. In fact, it's astounding that you survive as long as you do.
Wow.
Perhaps your mortal apothecary can provide one. You can always create the potion yourself if you possess the skill. Farewell.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Like, you go all that way to find a Fae to get help, and she says, one of your potions will be fine. And even if it isn't, well, I'm curious. Do it anyway. Right, come on, let's get you back to the mission. That'll be another quest under the belt. In fact, it'll be 2, because I can also turn in the other one real quick.
It's not far.
I know.
Must we return to the mission? I crave adventure, magic, although all of those things are quite frightening. Bye then.
Come on then, off you go.
Hello, great Mitharu. Egan has returned. As for you, you have done as I asked, and we here at St. Odwig's are forever grateful. Consider this meager reward a donation to your cause. It is just one, to be sure.
Oh dear. Well, thanks anyway. Okay, I'll have to come back and get that in a bit. Okay. Let's just sort out my inventory very quickly. Jump that. Fire resistance, health. Now I just need to find a bleeding shop. Right, okay. And we got another quest down there. I'll talk to her later. Oh, I don't really have time for this. Who was the... Is it in here? Is that the pub? Nope, that's the right one.
Everyone in Gorhart is talking about the attacks. They say that the Red Legion is receding back into the shadows from whence they came.
No problem.
It is all thanks to you. You found the formula and destroyed it. Now, you may think you understand the impact of this act, but you truly do not. You are a friend to this village and to me, Nanny Henry. Take this. It is not much, but it gives you an idea of my gratitude.
Thank you. Alright, shop.
I'm sure I have a vial somewhere in this cottage, but I do not have the time to search for it. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. Alright. Let's pick up the things from earlier. I hope they'll still be there. Hopefully. And I may save the level up for next time because I'll be fine. I can leave that.
Stay indoors after sundown.
Yeah. Right. Nope, the loot has gone. Well, fuck. Never mind. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Right. So, yeah, I guess we can leave it there for now. Seems as good a place as any to stop. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for showing up, Nova and Chromatic. Always appreciate the viewership. Obviously, this is just the start of a whole new series. I think I'm going to take this game all the way through to the end on some level. Thank you all for watching, everybody. I do hope you have enjoyed this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.